Happy World Kindness Day and World Cardigan Day. Hello, I'm Jennifer Bell, and yes, today on November 13th is both of those days. I believe both of them kind of celebrate Mr. Rogers. I don't know how many of y'all were alive to watch him. I don't know how many of my viewers were alive to watch him or know who he is, but he was an amazing man on TV and used to give a lot of inspiration and a lot of positivity and uplifting and just in general, just so much just goodness. A lot of the TV shows, we don't have that anymore. You're watching the news, it's just negativity, and that was really one of the feel good shows of my time when I was growing up. So, today is definitely a good day. Just, every day is a good day to be kind. But I guess just especially today, just to really emphasize on why it feels good just to be kind and just spread it around. Like I said, I really think it's something that should be done every day, but a lot of times we just can't. We don't have the money to, or we're just in just one of those days where it's just like you don't want to hear nothing nice. You don't want to do nothing nice. And we all have days like that. We're human. It happens. But really good day. Just to kind of take advantage of that if you can. Yeah, it's halfway through the month already. I was at home with the baby all day. So unfortunately I didn't really get my chance to. But if you were able to, that's amazing. Just to go out and do something nice for somebody that didn't expect it. And if they didn't respond in the best way, you know what? You did what was right and what felt good, and that's all that matters. You just never know what people are going through. So I'm sorry if you if you did something nice and they just kind of didn't exactly give the response you expected that you would have thought. Just know people are going through stuff. You never know whether it's something mental, whether they're going something through financial that's just about to break them. If they just had a family member die or something like that. So just have a little grace. Never stop doing something kind for somebody else. You never know the people that kind of answered in a more negative way. They might wake up tomorrow and just realize what happened and just want to do something to make up for it that day. Nice for somebody else. So my eyebrows. I decided I'd try to use the eyebrow kit, the brow kit, and oh my gosh, it's still there. I don't have any makeup remover. I'm trying to save all my money for next week, so I try to get most of it off with a baby wipe. That's it. Very good stuff. It definitely will not come off in a rainstorm. It's really good. Yeah, so I just need a little practice with that, but I'll get better once I do it a few times. But yeah, today is World Kindness Day, so even if that means just be kind to yourself, definitely do that. That still matters. If you're not used to doing anything kind for yourself, just show yourself some love, pamper yourself. A lot of us, we just so easy to just give to other people, and we kind of shove ourselves down into under the rug, and it gets to the point where you kind of start after a while realizing you need to do something for yourself too, and you just don't want to end up kind of getting to that point where you're oh, I'm always doing it for somebody else, and you kind of taking it out on people and getting angry and getting upset, and then you're wondering why, and it's because you're not taking care of yourself, so you don't want to hold resentment or anger towards people because you're not taking care of yourself. You owe yourself to pamper yourself every once in a while, do something good. If you can't do something for somebody else, do it for yourself. Just love yourself, and even if it's just going get a facial or just relaxing in the tub. World Kindness Day is a very good day to really just do anything kind for anybody. There's a lot of people with mental health, and it's kind of hard to do anything kind for themselves because they're already kind of feeling they're not worthy of love. They're not worthy of having anything kind done for them just because, it's what mental issues do to you. They kind of make you feel unworthy, and unlovable, and you push away people because it's just so much easier. Especially if you've had some stuff done to you, and it's just sometimes easier just to take it out on the people that's closest to you, and you don't want to do that. So sometimes it's the only way you can show yourself love is to go get some help. Starting your path to getting mentally better. You get to the point where you're able to accept love easier, and where you're able to realize that you can do stuff for yourself and not feel guilty. Just realizing that you're worthy of love, you're worthy of giving love, you're worthy of receiving love, and just realizing that you could be there more for the people that care about you and the people that you care about. That's not something that's usually talked about as much. There's still a lot of shame to it and still a stigma to it, where people think, mental health, and they just figure you're just some crazy person out talking to yourself, and you're about one little event away from doing a rampage or something. It's always like that. A lot of people are just really struggling just to deal and with normal day-to-day stuff. That's the average person. Something happened in their life where it's just hard for their brain to deal with it, and so that's kind of how the mental issues happen, just because their brain's trying to struggle to compute and how to deal with it. So like me, I was in foster care for 7 years, from when I was 1 until I was 8, and then I had an amazing foster mom. She was amazing. I mean, she was a godsend. I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for her. But I got used to her, and then I got with my adopted family, which were amazing. But in my mind, I knew my foster mom, so I didn't want to be with them. I was pushing them away and just doing all this stuff that was just really crazy and really ridiculous and unnecessary. And, thinking it'd get me back to my foster mom. And at the time, I kind of knew that something was wrong, but we didn't really talk about mental illness that much. So I didn't realize until I was older that, and then plus, I was ready to move out when I was 18. I didn't want to follow the rules. And so I moved out, which wasn't the best financially or mentally for me at 18. I didn't have a good job set up, just really immature and stuff like that. And then that's kind of when a lot of assaults happened to me, physically and other, and that kind of messed with me. And then also walking in an armed robbery when I was pregnant with one of my kids, and then miscarrying 2 kids, when I was about 4 months pregnant. So, that's kind of what messed me up. It's just a lot, and just trying to make sure I stay consistent, staying with counseling and stuff like that. Not trying to be on Seroquel and stuff just because those pills just really terrible. Just probably messing you up more than if you were off. But some of these pills I just really don't trust. They make you into a zombie, and if sometimes that's what people need. They just need something to kind of just make them super chill and stuff. And I personally just don't want to be like that. I got these kids and stuff like that, so I just want to be able to. But I realized a lot of people are in a different mental state, and Seroquel is the best thing for them. It's just all in personal choice and figuring out what you need and what will work best for you. And if you are just really wound up all the time, then you need something to make you more chill. If you're just really kind of depressed and down in the dumps all the time, you need something to kind of raise you up a little bit. So that's just the biggest thing, is just going and taking that first step and saying that something's going on, you need help. And then just figuring out what that path is, so that you can get yourself on a healthier, path in your life. And so then that way you can get to the point where you realize that you're happy, you love your life, you can accept the love that people give you, and your choices just overall are a lot better. Obviously you need that too. I thought my husband was home. I don't know, my dogs keep acting kind of weird. But that's the thing, just showing yourself love today. Show yourself love every day. Even if you know that you've got a mental illness or something's going on, you still deserve love. Your life matters. you know, a lot of people make it seem like, oh, if you got something going on, like, you're not going to be able to hold down a job, or like, how can you be married, or like, how can you raise kids? Like, you absolutely can. It's just trying to figure out the right path that you need, you yourself needs. You know, what's working for them might not work for you. And that's the biggest thing, is just realizing that just because you have mental illness doesn't mean you don't deserve love, that you are absolutely capable of holding good relationships and holding down good jobs. It's just like staying consistent with what you need mentally, so that you can, you know, continue forward, positively. And, you know, really just thing, I think that's just one reason I want to make this video about this, just because, like, whether you have PTSD or depression or anxiety or bipolar, like, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you didn't ask for what happened to you. You didn't ask for the genetics. You didn't ask for the trauma that happened to you. And the worst thing that you could do is just hold it in and not do anything about it. And then, you know, other people won't know what's going on with you, so you're not even giving them a chance to help you, or like stay by your side to work with you and get you on a better path, you know. And that's the thing, is a lot of people want to hold on to it. They're embarrassed, or they feel like someone's not going to love them. Like, they don't love you, then they don't need to be in your life anyways. You know, it's just like anything else. It's something that you can manage. You just got to take the first few steps and get started. You know, find you somebody that you could talk to that can just listen. You know, whatever you need to get done, just realize that your life matters, that you matter, that you're loved, that you're special, you're on this earth for a reason. You might not know the reason right now, but soon enough it's going to come out, even if it's just because you touched someone else's life that's going through the same thing. You know, that will still matter. And you just don't even realize, like, how good that could make you feel, just having someone come up to you like, wow, you know, you really inspired me. You inspired me to want to come forward with my story and ask for help, and or this or that or whatever. You know, and that could be like a big thing for you, is just realizing, like, maybe you could come forward and start your own little therapy class, or like you could go to school and be like a psychologist or anything like that, and just change the game for a lot of people that is struggling right now. You know, you just never know, like, what's the potential just when you decide to step forward and tell somebody what's going on with you and that you need help. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. I know there used to be. You know, I lived a lot of years of my life. I'm 35. You know, just not even know what's wrong, but it just took somebody else that has something too to tell me, you know, I think you might have this, and it made sense, you know. And now that I kind of know, it kind of like makes sense why certain things happen, like why I do like this, and just trying to watch for your triggers. You know, if you know something is something that kind of like sets you off, just avoid it. Try and do something else. And it just really makes things a whole lot easier. Just, you know, I know it sounds silly, but like doing breathing techniques. You know, if you got to go get more natural remedies, if you don't want to do pills, you do that. You know, like certain oils, you know, certain gummies. So they're good for you and stuff like that. You do your research. You make sure what works for you. If you don't feel comfortable with what's going on in your body, you try something else, you know. But you get yourself to the point where you could feel good waking up. You don't feel like you got to drag yourself through the day. You don't feel like half the time there's like you love the people that you're around, but it's like sometimes you just wake up and you're like, oh, like I just want to be by myself, you know. You want to be able to be up each day, spending time with the people that you love and that you know love you, you know. And not feeling so miserable, and not feeling like just everything coming at you is just so terrible. And, you know, life could be so different. It's just like trying to find the right path and just trying to figure out what's going on. And then just accepting help, you know, and being consistent with that help. That's the thing too, is just, you know, it can happen in so many different forms, and you just never know, like, just because somebody else has the same thing as you doesn't mean that your brain mentally is going to respond to the same things as theirs did, you know. And that's the thing. Just take today as like a day to just love on yourself and say, you know what, I deserve better for myself. I want better for myself. And, you know, take care of that brain of yours. Take care of your body. You know, you obviously want to research what you're putting in your body, of course, but, you know, just decide that you want to live life better and happier and, you know, filled with more love instead of dealing with what the mental illnesses kind of like leave you wallowing in, you know. So that's my video for today. If you found any value, if you feel like you need to talk to me, if you need to get something off your chest, so follow me on one of my other social medias. Twitter is JenBell84, Instagram is JenniferABell7 with dots in between, and then Instagram is Bell Marketing. You know, I always like to try and help someone else who might not realize or is like struggling or anything like that, you know, just to kind of get themselves on the right track, because it is hard. It can't be embarrassing just to admit, you know, but it doesn't have to be. What's more embarrassing is that you're feeling like that every day. You know, that's what's worse, is that there's people that love you and you're just not able to drag yourself out of bed to go spend the time with them, you know. And don't miss out on your loved ones because you're struggling with a mental illness, when there's a lot of different things you could try to move forward with your life and manage it. So yeah, so that's basically my story. If you want to subscribe, I'll send you a free ebook, 5 ways to get your mailing list started, just absolutely free just for subscribing, and I'll subscribe back. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. You know, there's always something we can learn from each other. Just my video today is just about being kind, whether it's to yourself or to someone else. You know, in mental health, I think we already went through the month like that, but that's just something that needs to continue. Just because there's a lot of people living with it quietly, and they shouldn't have to. There's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. I know you could feel like it's a big burden to put on other people, but obviously if they feel like it's a burden, then, you know, you just need some more positive people in your life, some people that's willing to take on that burden so that it helps the person that they love, you know. Because it shouldn't be a burden. If you care about somebody, you want to help lighten that load for them, at least for a little while, until they can kind of get themselves on track. You know, sometimes it could take time for people, just because it's been such a closed door thing where it's like you got to keep quiet about it. Like, we don't want that getting out about our family. Like, okay, if one person has it, someone else in the family probably does, because genetics is a real mother. So, you know, it just takes the right trauma to bring it out of you. You know, so just love yourself the best you can. Don't be ashamed. Get the help you need so that you can live a better life. You know that you're worthy. You're special. You're on this earth for a reason. You may not know it right now, but you absolutely are. You might not know it for a couple years, but it will come out, and you'll just feel so blessed that you were able to touch someone else, no matter what kind of way it was. But yeah, so make sure you subscribe. I'll comment below if you like, or you know, hit the like button, and I appreciate it. So that's my video for today, and happy Kindness Day and National Cardigan Day. Bye.